Hey kids, do you want to hear about a little goat with a big question? Gotty set out on an incredible adventure to find out who's the strongest in the world. But guess what? The answer isn't what you'd expect. Get ready for a story full of surprises, bravery, and an ending that will make you smile.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful little meadow surrounded by tall, whispering trees, lived a curious little goat named Gotty. With his fluffy white coat and tiny horns, he looked like any other kid in the meadow. But Gotty wasn't like the others. He was always asking questions. His favourite one was, "Who is the strongest?" Every time he asked, his mum would say, "Strength isn't just in muscles, little one. It's in the heart, the mind, and sometimes in surprising places." But Gotty wanted a real answer. So one crisp morning, as the sun rose over the hills, Gotty decided to set out on an adventure to find the strongest creature in the world. Gotty trotted out of the meadow and into the thick woods. The first creature he met was Big Bear, a towering figure with a deep, growly voice. "Big Bear, are you the strongest?" Gotty asked, his little tail wagging. Big Bear chuckled. "I can crush trees with my paws and catch fish with one swipe. But I'm not the strongest. If you want strength, go see Mighty Eagle. She rules the skies." Gotty thanked Big Bear and scampered toward the mountain where Mighty Eagle lived. Climbing the mountain was no easy task for little Gotty, but his determination pushed him onward. At the peak, he found Mighty Eagle perched on a rocky ledge, her golden feathers shimmering in the sunlight. "Mighty Eagle, are you the strongest?" Gotty asked, his eyes wide with wonder. Mighty Eagle puffed out her chest. "I can soar higher than the clouds and spot prey miles away, but no, little one, I'm not the strongest. You should visit Wise Old Turtle in the river. He's been around for ages. He might know who is." The river sparkled under the afternoon sun as Gotty reached its edge. There, Wise Old Turtle sat on a smooth rock, his shell covered in moss. "Wise Old Turtle," Gotty called, "are you the strongest?" The turtle's eyes twinkled with amusement. "Strength? Oh, I've outlived storms and droughts, but no, I'm not the strongest. If you really want to know, find Stormy the Wind. She'll show you what true power feels like." As night fell, Gotty reached the open plains where the wind howled fiercely. Stormy the Wind swirled around him, tugging at his fur and making him shiver. "Stormy," Gotty yelled, "are you the strongest?" The wind roared with laughter. "I can bend trees, push rivers and tear roofs off houses, but even I am not the strongest. You must meet the unshakable mountain." Tired but determined, Gotty made his way to the foot of the unshakable mountain. The mountain stood tall, its rocky face reaching into the clouds. "Unshakable mountain," Gotty said, his voice echoing, "are you the strongest?" The mountain rumbled softly, almost like a laugh. "I have stood here for centuries, unmovable by wind, rain, or time itself. But no, Gotty, even I am not the strongest. The strongest one of all is you." Gotty blinked, confused. "Me? But I'm just a little goat." The mountain's voice was deep and kind. "You, little one, have something no one else does. You faced your fears, climbed mountains, braved storms, and never gave up. Strength isn't about size or power. It's about courage, determination, and heart. That makes you the strongest of all." Gotty's heart swelled with pride. He realized the mountain was right. True strength wasn't about being the biggest or the toughest. It was about the journey, the challenges, and never giving up. With a new spring in his step, Gotty returned to the meadow. His friends gathered around, eager to hear his tale. "Did you find out who's the strongest?" one of them asked. Gotty smiled and said, "I did. The strongest isn't Big Bear, Mighty Eagle, or even the unshakable mountain. The strongest is anyone who has the courage to keep going, no matter what." And from that day on, whenever anyone asked Gotty a question, he'd smile and say, "The answer is always closer than you think." And so little Gotty became a hero in the meadow, not because he was the strongest, but because he had the strongest heart.